Hello everybody, I am Jonathan from Netgear M4250. The first part of the configuration is the core switch, a layer 3 configuration with troubleshooting. Then there will be a second part with a layer 2 VLANs for the distribution switch. So on the core switch, the primary switch, we create the VLAN control. This is very, very important. It's where you put the control processor, the touchpad, everything about control. Then we create a VLAN video. So it should be a VLAN routing because we want the control processor to give orders to the encoders or decoders. And we will create audio VLAN with the QoS. It's automatic with the profile on M4250. And then we will create the distribution switch with only the two VLANs, VLAN video and VLAN audio, because everything is already on the primary switch, so we don't need the VLAN control. And then we see that with the auto trunk and auto lag, you can reach the core switch very easily. Now I'm connecting to the switch 192.168.0.239. It is the default IP address on the port OOB, out of band. And I'm going to network profile. So in network profile, we have already all the ports in the VLAN management. We are going to reuse this VLAN as a control VLAN. So I'm going to edit this VLAN management. And the first thing that I will do is to edit the VLAN routing because I want to communicate with my VLAN video and audio. So I'm going to use the static IP address 172.0.1.254. I change the subnet for 3 times 255. And I enable the DHCP server. I just leave it like that, but otherwise I can custom the DNS or change the pool if I want to use the static IP addresses, this kind of stuff. Okay, good. Now I'm going to create the VLAN video. So you have just to select in the profile what is fitting for you. So in my case, it's only video. I don't have AES67 with video. So basically, the profile is compatible with all the guys, Question NVX, IMX, SVSI, all the video and encoders and decoders. So my VLAN ID will be the number 10. I choose a color for my 2 ports that I selected. I want the routing. I want the control processor to communicate to the VLAN video. So the gateway with 10.254, and I enable the DHCP server. I can customize. I don't do it. It's okay. And the last one, we are going to create the VLAN audio Dante. So I'm a bit of a liar because I told you you will see to configure the QoS, but actually when you use the profile Dante, the QoS is automatic. So when you set this profile, and automatically you get the quality of service. Then I choose the color for my ports. I enabled my routing with my IP for the routing, so 20.254 for this VLAN 20. 3 times 255 for my subnet. I enable the DHCP server. I don't customize again. And that's it. I have created my 3 VLANs with quality of service, DHCP pool and everything. Before to continue on live demo on troubleshooting, I want to explain some points. So first thing, if you put your laptop in the control VLAN, then you try to ping the IP address VLAN 10, so the IP address 10.254. You will get a positive answer only if a device is wired in the VLAN 10. If nothing is plugged, then the route won't go up and you will get a negative answer to your ping. As soon as you add a device, whatever is the IP address of the device, you will get a positive answer. Then if you try to ping the device 10.1, if you get a negative answer, it's because of the gateway address set up into the device from your laptop or the encoder. you have a wrong gateway. It's for that you cannot ping each other. So let's go on the live demo now. Now I'm connecting to the switch through its IP management from the VLAN 1, the control VLAN. So 1.254. And then I'm going to access to a NAS from the VLAN 10. So I don't have an encoder, so I'm just putting the IP address 10.1, which is my NAS, my ready NAS, and I'm going to connect. So admin, password, and connection. Now I'm going to the network tab. I'm going to the settings, and I'm going to set a wrong gateway IP address. This is really the main issue. Sometimes there is no IP set for the gateway, something totally wrong, like the firewall IP address. So as you can see, I can ping the NAS. So I'm going to launch the ping request. Now I'm going to set a wrong gateway address. So 200, there's nothing in 200. Okay, then I come back to the ping, and you can see that the ping stopped to answer. So some people would tell me, yeah, but I can't connect to the encoders. Yeah, because you are in the same subnet. So now I'm enabling a second Ethernet card, which is wired on the VLAN 10 in DHCP client mode. So we're just going to wait a bit to enable it. Okay, enabled. And then status, nothing raised again. Still the paper address. And just a bit of patience, and it's okay. I have my pink positive. I did take an IP address, and it's answering to the ping. So yes, when you are in the same subnet, you can reach it, but your routing is not working because the gateway is not correctly set. To configure the second switch, from the primary switch, I go to neighbor, and then I can identify easily switch 2 with its own IP address, 1.4. Like that, you will avoid to go on the switch, port out of bounds, find the IP address, this kind of stuff. You can find it straight away from the neighbor tab. So now I'm connected on it, and I'm going to the network profile. As said previously, we are going to configure 2 VLANs, but actually there is a third VLAN. The management VLAN is there, of course, because all the ports are on the VLAN management. If you want, you can set a static IP address to reach this switch through its VLAN management IP address. Then I'm going to create the VLAN video. I have selected the 2 ports. I said VLAN video, and very important, the same ID than the primary switch. Okay, this is really important. You can do a mistake on the name, it's okay, but on the ID, you have to put the same ID. Then I save because I don't need routing. I have already the routing on the primary switch. I don't need the DHCP pool because I have already that on the primary switch. And then I do exactly the same thing for the VLAN Dante. Again, only the ID is really important. Okay, don't mistake the ID, the VLAN ID, and you say, okay, no need of routing. Everything is configured on the primary switch. And that's it, it is finished. But now you are going to tell me, yeah, but the uplinks you have to configure. No, we have auto trunk, so automatically the VLANs are going through the trunk port. Now I'm connecting my second NIC card, the one that I use to ping my NAS, and I'm going to connect it on the port number 1. You can see here the blue stuff, and I'm going to launch the ping. So laptop, switch number 2, trunk port, switch number 1, the NAS. Okay, and it's pinging. See, you have nothing to configure. When you have the A for automatic trunk, just work. That's it. So now if you have to add multiple encoders, so you need more bandwidth. So you need to aggregate the links, to increase the bandwidth between both switches. So you go on link aggregation. Actually, you don't need to go on it, but just to show you, you see there is no lag, nothing is configured. Now I'm plugging on the switch a second port. Okay, but now I'm doing it, and then I'm refreshing this. And I'm waiting just a bit that the blinking of the LED, and see, you have the lag automatically created. And because we have two VLANs going through the lag, we have also the auto trunk. You see the lag one has the A for auto, and the ports have the mentioned L1 that they are participating. And don't forget that the Pro AV team is there to help you to design and configure. Just you have to reach proavdesign@netgear.com. Thank you.